Hello, all. Where have you been? Where have you been? Welcome back to Reality and Balance. And we're going to get into words of power affirmation. As you can tell by the title, right? It is called The Burden of the Unhealed, why they projected their failures onto you. So I am definitely we're going to kill two birds with one stone, so to speak, all right? And we are speaking to the inner child that is within so we can continue to explore the glory, okay, of this information. So not only that, we're going to talk about the projected identities, okay, that is projected onto you through your guardianships and through your parents, those stages and boxes that were prepared for you as a child. So, the reason why we're here today is because of those relationships that were toxic, right? So, because they were abused and told they were nothing, they cannot fathom a child of theirs being something. To see your light will require them to admit how much of their own they allowed to burn out. So we're talking and we're referring to, okay, this self-identification projected onto you by your parents and your guardianship, all the toxic behaviors that was passed on and the toxic behavior that continued to linger on through lineage because the lack of awareness and the lack of accountability. It takes a strong individual to admit that they were human. Okay? Not that they were right or that they were wrong. It's that they were human. It takes a very quality individual to admit these things. And this is why we're here to help to continue to release, to relinquish all of that toxic auric fear that is projected on you. Because, like Muhammad Ali, you are the greatest. This is why you're here for this message, because you are the greatest. Let's get into it. So we have 52 words of power affirmations. We're going to kill two birds with one stone. We're going to talk to the parentals together, and we're going to talk about them separate. Just know that you are the magi, the great manifestation that has been extensive from the parental. You are the light. You are the star. You are here in awareness and alertness. Let's get into it. So, the burden of the unhealed, why they projected their failures onto you. Thank you and gratitude, y'all. Go ahead and thumbs up the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want more deeper introspection and in relation to this very much concern that most people are conflicted by, right? Go ahead and check out my website, realityandbalance.com, where I do clarity calls. And if there's something a little bit more specific that you're not seeing on my website, go ahead and shoot me an email. The best way to shoot me an email is through my website. All right, so let's start here. Let's start with the mom. All right, in the last video, we talked about the dad's wife and why he has been removed spiritually, physically, and mentally, okay, from his own self. See, it's best to get rid of all your addictions, to get rid of all of those barriers and blockages before you have children. And if you cannot do that, there's no reason for you to have any addictions. You shouldn't smoke. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just based on what's said here. Smoking, drinking, any form of addictions, overeating, right? With your children. Know that these circumstances will be passed on, especially in their early childhood development, because your child is looking at you as you're here to take care of them and to protect them. Yet they are witnessing all of the coping mechanisms that comes with life. So your ancestors and your spiritual guides are saying, do you this favor. Become the best version of you before you have children, or just don't have any at all. If you already have children, set yourself on track. Allow for your children to see how great you are, how you've overcome your addictions, because children learn from that too. Wow, my parent did it, I can do it too. So, with that being said, the toxicity levels that is going on with your mother is atrocious. Your mother has hidden behind a pulpit, is what they're saying. Your mom has hidden herself behind a pulpit, meaning she had not been able to address any of her issues, but she is able to go to a pulpit. She is able to go to choir practice. She is able to go to church Sunday service. She's able to go to Bible study. All of these things every week, putting a mask on the relationship with you and the relationship with her past, and so-called moving on in her life by going to the pulpit as if it is just smearing things over into the greatness of the glory of the universe or to their God, right? And that is not the case, because we are living in reality imbalance. You cannot put a mask over issues. That mask will be blown off, and you will blow off that mask, okay, with your mother who's hidden. She might still be an alcoholic, or she might still be a smokeaholic, or she could just be up in the church, right, praising a frequency, yet have unresolved issues within themselves. So when you have a conversation with your mother, when you're talking to your mother, there is no accountability. As a matter of fact, she's been possessed, okay, by within the outfits that she goes to every day, has been putting on this clothes and this suit of something and someone else. But we know, you know who she really is, because you watched her day in and day out as a child. So you know who she really is. She hasn't changed. She's the same. Okay, here, jumping off really quickly, your ancestors and your spiritual guide is letting you know that you are present in this message. And number 10, you are present in this message. In number 10, you are in complete awareness in this number 10. We're in the number 10 year. Okay, so everything is going to be revealed for this lovely upcoming frequency that's already here for next year. So you are present right now, meaning you are accountable. You are accountable. That means a lot, especially if you already have children, because like I said, they like to see their parents and their guardianship do well. They like to see their parents and guardianship overcome obstacles. They love to see it when their parents and guardianship are actually helping themselves. So your spiritual guides, your ancestors are letting you know that you are present. This is telling me that you already have children. You already have kids, and you are in complete awareness that any form of coping mechanism, right? Any form of addictions that you will relinquish, that you will remove for the sake of your children, because it's not about you. It's not about you. The toxic levels of your mother is so extreme that she could possibly be showing up in your dream, right? Still a bully. As still a bully. That's because in this physical sense, no one has ever put her in check, because she will attempt to say, why me? Attempt to cry, boo hoo hoo, or attempt to say that, oh, the Lord's going to get you, or something like that. She is clothed in demonic figures, okay? That whole years, 50, 60, 40, 30, 70 years, okay, of lack of awareness has clothed and has shaded her true sense of herself, okay? The reason why I say demonic is because her treatment upon you, how she talked to you, how she spoke to you as a child. She didn't uplift you. She talked down to you. As a matter of fact, she was a bully for you. Okay, she was one of your first bullies. And now, or, she could be still covering with addictions, but now what they're saying is now she's at the pulpit, she's at the church where there's no accountability at all for each and every individual, where they are disabling people to give all their worries to an entity, right? We are operating in the current, past, and future realities all at the same time. So as your mother is at the pulpit to feel good, it's only for a moment. It's only for a moment. But when she leaves, there is the shade of darkness and loneliness because of this revelation of not having any accountability. You're willing to accept the unbelievable here in 14. 1 and 4. 1 is I am, will. 4 is grounding and stabilizing this. All right, this your own self accountability. The projected identification, right, is why your mother never gave you cues on how to be a better person because she doesn't know how to be a better person herself. She doesn't know how to be a better person herself. These kind of people look on the outside for validation, and that only lasts for a glimmer of a light. It doesn't last forever. The internal validation is here in the 1 and the I am. Stabilizing that is what your ancestors, your cheerleaders, your spiritual guides is letting you know. You have already accepted the unbelievable, right? Because we talked a lot about how each of these systems, especially the family system, is a made-up structure. It isn't anything organic. It is a way to keep people in place, to keep them on the pee pad, and damn if you step off of that pee pad, right? Then the family structure continues to crumble. But you're not a part of that. You're not a part of the generational degradation passed on. So give yourself grace and glory that you are here to accept the unbelievable, because people think of mothers as supposed to be the guiding light and the love of all. And we know for sure that most of us haven't gotten that because they have their own unresolved issues to deal with. That's what I said. Have none before you have children. And if so, allow for yourself to be accepting and awareness. You have no coping mechanisms. You're not searching for external validation. You're really healing your inner child, your inner wounds by accepting the unbelievable here. I really, really love that. Right away, this is your first reading in the number 10 year as you're being present. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There's nothing more grateful that I can say about you being present and right here and right now. So this is a 2 for 1. This is the 2 for 1. You have to do the deep introspection, right? To understand why did they team up together? Why did those 2 parental values team up together originally? Like, where did they do that at? Where did they do that at? Simple. Both of their childhoods was very similar. Very similar. Toxic outburst, emotional, verbal, physical abuse. That is why they teamed up together, because of those toxic frictions from their early childhood development that they're not even aware of how they paired together and got together and made you. And they're like, you're going to figure it out. We did our job. They can figure it out, right? So there's no accountability ever, which is okay for you because you are in complete awareness. You are present. You are that third manifestation. You are that shining light. Okay? You are parts of them as well. This is why you take the goods and you throw the rest out, right? You take the higher aspects of your parents and your guardians, is what your spiritual guides is saying. You take the highest qualities of them. And if you don't know who your parents and guardians is, however you operate from your highest ability, okay, you are tapped into the frequency of your DNA, into your ancestry. Those who have already overcome this plane, those who have already come this plane, right, weren't projecting toxicity onto you. As a matter of fact, they brought nothing but value and balance into this system, into this plane, right? So the reason why they got together, see, look at that. They're giving you, I can relax and let go with this information here in number 27. Now you can be free. You can be free. The family system, the parental system, is a made up structure. Some of them got the good end, the bad end, the worst end, the middle end, but it is all false. Okay? Not to judge it to be good or bad, but it's underneath a system of an institution, right? However you make it great. But just know that the family structure is a made up system. And with that being said, you can relax and let go. You don't have to take on their generational disalignment. And as a matter of fact, you won't take on their generational lack, their spiritual lack, their emotional lack, because you are here today, right now, rendering a beauty of peace, rendering beauty of joy and enlightenment through the uniqueness of your own circumstances, which is being present in every way. Being present. This is all they want you to do, right? Your spiritual guides, your team, your ancestors. They want you to be present in awareness. They do not want you to have coping external mechanisms, because people are watching you. Even if you don't have children or not, they're watching, they're observing, okay, in the seen and unseen worlds. So the fact that these two parental guidance got together and teamed up and had you, and they are both have very, very similar childhood development issues. They have no light to give you. They have no light to give you because there is no light within. Over time, they mask themselves, right? They mask themselves. And they cannot see who you are. And they're not supposed to see who you are. Relax and let go is what that last card said with number 27. 2 being that duality, right? The two forces that are supposed to be opposite. And that 7 is that spiritual wisdom of knowing and being present. Getting rid of addictions, getting rid of masks, things you put over your face, or clothes you put on to go to church and to worship. But as soon as you leave those places and outfits, you are back to square zero. Well, they are back to square zero. They're back to square zero. All right. This is why they projected the failures onto you, because their own parental guidance projected failures onto them. It is a circle, continual circle. Imagine their grandparents and imagine their grandparents. It's a life cycle of projected identification of burdens of the unhealed. If you're struggling with some kind of addiction, you're struggling to go to church and still can't find the way. Okay, there is always the way. You are the way. This is the first solidified single digit number 6. I can accept my feelings. And this is why probably those dreams have been so phenomenal, right? with one of the parent or two have been so phenomenal with the inability for you to address them in the physical world is because accepting, again, this is another accepting. I am willing to accept the unbelievable. And 14, you got that here, is what they're saying. And but then this is the most significant because this is number 6. This is number 6. That's saying balance and harmonizing. This is where you are in your acceptance of this level of toxicity passed on generationally. This is not truly, people will say brain science, but it's complete awareness. It's awareness and knowing where you are today and how you are here today. How are you showing up today? Accepting that, okay, my mom was a drug addict or alcoholic, or she's a religiosity freak, right? Or my dad had a lot of avoidance. He's, lack emotional intelligence. As a matter of fact, he's probably has a pipe in his hand right now. He's probably smoking right now, watching sports. The awareness over time got sucked up within a pipe, a bong, a cigarette, an alcohol bottle. That had sucked out the light and that had sucked out all of their energy to be accountable. Because that accountability was in that liquor bottle. That accountability was at church on their knees, okay? And they leave and they're still like, why me? So your spiritual guides and your spiritual team are letting you know that you have already accepted your feelings here, balance and harmonize that, okay, within this message. They were incapable of giving you any light because there was no light for them. But you are the exception here. You are the true exception here. This is why you are here today. Obviously, this is why you're here today. That's why you're going to continue to operate higher and higher and higher. And it's okay that there's no cause. It's okay that there's no visits, but you're going to see how much spiritual acuity you're going to build up in the back and the foreground of yourself. Because maybe not. They'll start to wonder, why don't I ever feel better? Or why don't nobody ever come and visit me or show up for me? And it will probably never click because they'll pick up the Bible, right? With no forms of self accountability. Or they'll pick up a cigarette or alcohol bottle or a bong pipe or whatever their vice is. And they will allow that to rule them. And that's another thing. Oh, look at that. That came out again. And I was just looking for that. I can relax and let go. I can relax and let go. So they gave their power away to addictions. Okay. It don't even have to be addictions. It can be like the form of emotional abuse or verbal abuse or just lack of emotional intelligence. They gave up their power. Okay. They gave up their power. Therefore, your light is being power streamed indefinitely by your spiritual guides, your cheerleaders, and your ancestors. You have the power, baby. I am the power. You have it. This is why you are here right now. Like, 2 individuals or even just 1. But no, if 1 is absent, they still got together based on the similar same background of their early childhood development, okay? In order for them to even recognize your light in some way, because they were guardian of parent, they'll realize how they let their own light go out so they can't see you. They can't see that you are doing well in a lot of areas in your life. They don't care. They want to know, probably about some stupid shit like if you're going to have kids or if you're cooking dinner or, who are you cooking for or who are you teaming up with, they're concerned about frivolous things, right? Surface level things. Surface level, opportunities. And they refuse to see the resources within you because they can't see the resources within them. Know that. And this is why it says, I can relax and let go. You are willing to accept the unbelievable, right? You are present here. Number 10. This is the first one that came out. You are present. And a couple other cards are kind of, yeah, here it is. Number 6 here, that balance and harmonizing, accepting your feelings. Accept your feelings. Release your feelings here today in this balance and harmony way. Accept it and move on. It's just a blockage. I really want and I need for you to understand that systems are made to be broken. The parental and family system is who's ever in control of the dominant society. That's who decides what the family is based on, is whoever is in writing these laws and policies, right? Whoever the dominant society is tells you how the structure is going to function and how the structure is going to run. Your spiritual guides and your ancestors are letting you know you are a creator. You built your own structures and your functions outside of dysfunction. You work in and you work outside of these systems planes. But still, they're letting you know very much of this whole acceptance and this awareness of that. This is why we keep talking about I am being present. I accept the unbelievable. I accept my feelings. Accept your feelings. If you ever come upon a conversation, don't let nothing slide whatsoever. Nothing slide. Whatever. I don't feel like your ancestors or your spiritual guides want you to hide behind the truth, right? Let the past and the present and the current future represent you right now in the present, in the beauty of the rendering of your excellency. Stay 10 toes down. Let them cry. Let them get angry. Let them bully. But in the dark of the light, belongs to you. This is all for you. But in the dark of the light, it all belongs to you to transform. Nothing to do with them transforming. Let's do another Words of Power reading because this message is very phenomenal because we want you to understand that you're working in and outside of the system. They can't see your light because of the many blockages over years that were external, things that they refused to look upon, to go deeper within. So here you come as being a star being. Spirit guides are like, they can't see you. Only you can see you. This is why the mirror is present. Only you can see you. Know that. It's really, I think it's not only systematic that, we feel some certain type of way about our guardianships and our parents. Is only systematic, right? You see it on TV, social media, people teamed outside, right? But once you start accepting your unique presence of where you are, that means nothing what other people are doing. You're completely focused on the internal value that is setting systems in place externally because the internal is polished. But once again, they want you to be aware that you've broken the system. You have overcome the system. I like that I am present was the first Words of Power affirmation that showed out for you. Of being present. I love that. Absolutely love that. And that number 10, I love that. You are exactly where you need to be. You're exactly where you need to be. Your children, if you have them, will be so proud to represent you. You have no idea. No idea. Don't wait till you get old to get rid of your addictions. Do it now, especially if you have children, because they are like following trends. And the first trend they follow is who is their guardian, who is watching over them, who is feeding them, who is clothing them. They're looking at how you're coping with life, right? And subconsciously, they will pick up that same issue, those same concerns in their adulthood as well on how to cope with life. So accept who you are, accept your presence right now, which I already see in the words of power affirmations. Your cheerleaders, there's like, you are present. And that's why I keep saying, I love that. Because you have to show up not only for yourself, but those who are observing you, who's looking to you, who's already looking around like, this is crazy. Okay? Let's do one more card. Let's do one more card. All right. So if they told you that you are nothing, you're never going to be nothing, that's because that was what's told to them. That was what's told to them. And that should just give you more fierce and fire, for one, to not be in their present, and for two, to continue to get rid of the generational disalignment, degradation, toxic, abusive nature. Removing yourself, refurbishing yourself from the inside out. It takes time, it takes releasing, but awareness is the first cue that you are here. Awareness. So study your guardianship, not forever, just for, a little bit. Your spiritual guides, your cheerleader will guide you in this form of studying and research of your own self. You can write your own biblical nature by the studies of your own systems and formats and how you got here and where you are today and how you overcome all and how you have overcome all. Study them. Let me know though, like for real, because this is 100% guaranteed. Okay. Wait, let's do another card. Let's put these back here. Let's put all 52 words of power affirmations right back on here. And let's give you one more words of power affirmation to take away from, right? The burden of the unhealed is definitely passed on, right? But you have the right to be where you are right now, presently, in this form of I am greater than them. I am better than them. I was born to do this. I was born to relinquish generational suicide, generational addiction, generational lack of emotional intelligence, generational poverty. You are here to strike all of that down. All of it. Right. They were meant to see the light. Why would they see your light? Is what they're saying. Why would they see your light? You see your light. You don't need an audience. So the last, look at that. I am finding my voice, being number 4, is what your spiritual guides and your ancestors are letting you know to move through and to push through, that you are finding your voice right here and right now. This is probably why that message came up with, even if y'all all have a conversation and topic, it's not all because I really don't truly believe in that. For people or individuals in the spirit zone either, if there's still like some unresolved issues and hurt there, what are we laughing about? What are we giddy about? Hi and bye. So find your voice, putting your feet down, structuring, finding your voice. Do not give up on yourself. Do not allow for people to put you in a corner, back you into a corner, cry so they can cry and attempt to manipulate you. Because demonic figures, those who be going to cloth and to church, cloth, right? No accountability about how they got here today. They couldn't even tell you how and why they are even here today, besides to serve something other than themselves. which is they're like indifferent. Because when you have children, they come first. Their emotions come first. Their well being come first. Not your cigarettes, not your alcohol, not your weed, not your sarcasm, not your abusive nature. Your children comes first of all things. This is how I know it's generational, because there are other things external outside that comes first before the great manifestation of who you are. Stand up. You are finding your voice. Stand on that. Stand on finding your voice. This whole projection identification, because they were abused, they were told that they were nothing, okay, by their parents. They were told that they were nothing. In order for them to see your light will require for them to admit that they allowed for their own light to dim. Ain't that something? Don't be like them. Be better. Be greater. Be greater. Be greater. Because it's all for you. You're not here to heal them. You're not here to change them. You are present right here and right now. Okay. We have 52 words of power here. And you know which ones came up the most. I want you to go ahead and write in the description which words of power affirmation resonated with you the most. And if you feel like you want a deeper reading, check out my tools and resources on realityimbalance.com. See me an email through there if you have questions, like some people have already been doing, right? If you don't feel like you want to schedule a reading, right? There's some fine details that you want to, explore before the reading. There is the contact right on my website. There's a few people who've already used that contact list. Go ahead and sign up for my newsletter as well, or just shoot me a message through the contacts, and I'll see you guys over there. Be well and balance and peace.